How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Parents vs. Gaming. This is episode 20. As you'll see, I am surrounded by lovely ladies tonight. We lost Jay. I think he's looking for his soapbox because he misplaced it while he was on vacation. But this week, let me go around and introduce the cast. All the way on the end, the lovely, beautiful, she's back once again. She's my favorite person in the world. Second favorite. Okay, third person. Parker. Then Milena, then you. Okay, third favorite person. Let's bring her back in. Alexis Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
Wait, I totally thought, because I didn't see the order on the screen, I totally thought you were talking about Kia. I was like, I love her. Hi. I'm here. I'm alive. How are you guys?
Amazing. And in the middle, we do have Kia. Kia, can you introduce yourself? You want to give everybody your name, who you are?
I'm Kia. I'm a stay-at-home mom of a 5-year-old little boy, and I game.
Ooh.
She's cracked.
I am not cracked, but I do love my games.
For those that are just parents kind of tuning in, cracked means she's really good at the game. It does not mean other things, so don't be panicking if you're still trying to learn the terminology of what your kids.
Yes, I'm sure your kid will tell you that.
When your kid's running around and being like, I was cracked today, Mom. He's talking about he was doing really good at the game. So
he was popping off in the game, like that's what he was doing. So.
All right, so to jump in a little bit, Kia, we usually go around. I know you're in the chat quite a bit, so we're super happy to have you. Excited to have you here this week. But we kind of just introduce what you've done for the week, what's kind of happened in our lives. So we will start with you in the middle. We're going to put you on the spot. Tell us about your week, what you've done, what you've played, what your kid's been up to, anything exciting in the family life.
Well, honestly, I just recently got a PC. Making the switch over to PC versus console. I will still play on my console, obviously. Love my console. But I did recently switch over to PC, so that's kind of a new thing that happened this week. I'm also a baker. I have not had any cookie orders this week, so it's been pretty chill this week.
So
outside of my son,
you just you just bake cookies, or you bake other things?
I mostly do cookies. Mostly do cookies for the reason that a lot of people have burned me on cakes and not paid me for my cakes that I've made them and not picked them up. So,
no.
So I switched to just doing mostly cookies. That's what I do. But I haven't had any this week. I do have some coming up next week and the week after. One for my niece. Her birthday's coming up. And she will be, oh my gosh, how old will she be? She'll be like a preteen, which is really scary. Which is really scary. So like, oh God, I can't believe I have a niece that's going to be a preteen, which means I already have a niece that is a teenager.
And baking stream coming up soon. That's what we hear. That's what we hear in the chat. They're saying baking stream soon.
Baking stream soon. I have a community challenge for my stream where they're going to be doing, they're trying to raise enough community points to get me to do a live baking stream for them.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Coming in.
Yes.
You do the cookie baking. Tell me your favorite, like what's Kia's favorite cookie?
My favorite
and I swear on my life, if you say lemon Oreos, I'm ending the podcast.
No, it's not lemon Oreos.
Actually, sounds good. What are you talking about?
I do like lemon Oreos, but those are not my favorite cookies. My favorite cookies is probably a sugar cookie that is unfrosted.
Yum.
I don't want any frosting on my sugar cookies.
Yeah,
sometimes when I have leftover sugar cookies, I'll just instead of icing them, I'll eat them without the icing.
You know what's strange is that is actually my favorite cookie.
Is it really? I love it.
Oh, wow.
Sugar cookie.
Yes, they're the best.
Yeah,
they're
I don't know why. Like when I was a little kid, you always want like the chocolate chip cookies, but as I get older, like I like the taste of the sugar cookie, the plain, the kind of just simple. Yeah. All right, Jordan.
That's probably my favorite.
Tell us about your week. You're back. You started streaming again recently. I saw kicking butt in some Valorant.
Well, who wants to know my favorite cookie? In case you're curious.
Oh, what is your?
It's
Sorry,
peanut
sorry.
butter. It's peanut butter.
Ooh, I love peanut butter
Peanut butter.
cookies.
Wait, do you like the peanut butter
There's so
cookies where
many
someone
to
like bakes them and then they take the fork and they make the plus sign with them when they
That's
say
like the only
I
way to
make
do
cookies,
it.
Yes, hello. What the
make?
heck?
Do you do them any other way? Like,
Yeah, you're so weird, James. God. Why do you even have to clarify?
Doc
God.
says
He's-
white chip macadamian, which is really good.
Mhm.
Doc, I challenge you. I found this out a long time ago from this bake shop by where I used to work when I was in high school. If you get freshly baked white macadamian chip cookies, right, and then have it like with the coldest glass of ice water. I don't know why, but it tastes amazing. Like not milk.
I'm
like
sure.
just water, but only that cookie.
Wait,
It's just that cookie.
wait. Ice
Oh,
water. No.
Yeah, don't like dip it.
Okay,
Not like dip
okay.
it. It just
Okay,
I don't know.
that's
I don't
weird.
know why it tastes good, but yeah, it tastes good.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we're cutting James off.
You're taking over the podcast.
Yes.
We've got some people watching in YouTube tonight as well, so that's pretty awesome. And I know some people may be watching on Facebook.
Yes, I know we're trying to, be in the transition to just YouTube, right? Or YouTube and
Trying,
Facebook, or
trying. Somebody likes butterscotch chip. I won't call Mr. J out, but that sounds disgusting.
that's
you have
Get out.
actually
Get
butterscotch chip
out.
cookies.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. A baker probably appreciates everything, right? I, on the other hand, just eat them.
Like all I picture is like you wanted to make cookies and you didn't have anything, but Mr. J really wanted some cookies, so you were like, well, we're at grandmother's house and all she has is a dish of that nasty butterscotch candy in the middle, so let me just take some of that and
No.
throw it in the batter.
They actually make butterscotch chips that you can use.
Oh, I've seen them.
And
They're usually still
yes,
on the
and-
shelf.
no, you've never had one, so you can't say anything. They are actually pretty good. If you like butterscotch, it's good. But
No.
if you don't like butterscotch, then
Mm-mm.
you're not gonna like
Yeah,
it.
It was like a punishment
I mean-
from my
I
grandmother. Hey, you
mean-
want some candy? Have this butterscotch thing. No. Mm-mm.
it was like taking a lozenge.
I would have rather had a Halls.
I'm sorry.
I'm not
Kia,
kidding.
I'm
I would
sorry.
rather have like just like a handful of Halls and that be my snack for the night than have a butterscotch
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
anything. Or like coconut flakes is the same thing. I don't like that either.
Yeah, that really depends.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So, Jordan, tell
don't
us
you
about
love
your week.
10 minutes about cookies? Actually, I would love that.
Welcome
I
to
would
the
love
cookie
that.
stream.
You're
This is
welcome.
the
I took
prequel to
over.
her baking stream. Jordan, what about you?
Well.
Tell us about Valorant. What's going on? What's happening?
Today, don't rewatch the VOD. I might delete the VOD. It was a bad time. The only time I was getting kills was when I was lagging. And I think it's because technically I was kind of cheating because I was probably lagging on their screen too, so it was harder for them to shoot me. So I just happened to kill them. When I wasn't lagging, I was getting messed up. I forgot we're not cursing as much on this channel.
I think you got a long way to go to
Besides-
catch up to Jay.
No, I was about to say something bad. But anyways, besides that, been planning some things in my personal life. Like I might be going to see James here for my birthday. My birthday's coming up. So it's on the 16th. So I will be doing a stream. I can't tell if I'm gonna do like 4 hours or 8 hours or 12 hours yet. I'm not really sure. It's my birthday, so I don't want to be too stressed. But yeah, you'll catch me there on my birthday if you want to come say hi. And then after that, I'm flying straight over to James, and we might be able to do a podcast in person. That's super exciting.
Yeah, it should be pretty awesome. I'm pretty pumped about that. I think Jay will be back for that, and then we'll just have to wonder why he wasn't cool enough to come stay.
I know. Jay hates us. He just didn't want to come.
Yeah, then tonight he was like, you know what, Jordan's back, I'm out. Really, I just
Yeah.
think it's because he lost his soapbox. I don't know if you saw any of last week's episode, Jordan, but he tried to tame himself most of the time, and I know he struggled.
Oh, did he?
He did.
Oh, well, I'm proud of you. If you're here, I'm proud of you. For
I'm
once.
so proud of you.
All right,
Jay.
so let's jump into a little bit. We got a couple topics I want to discuss tonight. The first one, as anyone that's following my stream or listening to me even open my mouth for the last 2 weeks, I don't shut up about this game, Splitgate. And instead of just telling everyone how amazing it is and how fun it is and how it's better than Warzone and Valorant and Apex and all those other lame games you guys play, I really, honestly, I just want to talk about what
Offended.
I want to talk about some of the things the development team is doing. So I think it's 1047 Studios. Obviously, they were a small team, 2 to 3 guys, and it jumped up to 4. they started, some of the stuff I've watched from them, they talk about, a lot of people compare them to Among Us, where Among Us has been out for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden a few big streamers started playing it, and it just exploded, right? And instead of making Among Us 2 that they were working on, they were like, well, scrap that. We're just going to keep revamping and updating this game because that's where everyone's playing. Now, what I found out is that Among Us almost kind of struggled the same thing with servers. So if you don't know, Splitgate for a long time had a max capacity of 65,000 concurrent players. They were maxing out their servers, and it would take, I'm not joking, it would take 1.5 to 2 to 3 hours sometimes just to get in the game. So if you're a console, for a PC player, you might be able to multi-window it and play something else while you're waiting. But if you're a console player, you're just sitting there. Like, you can't play. Now, the game blew up where something like Among Us started with about 100 concurrent players. About a month later, they got over a couple thousand. 2 months later, they were up to 10,000. 3 months later, they were up to about 100,000. And by 5 months later, they were hitting around 300,000 concurrent players. Now, this came about for about 2 years. They almost, from what I understand, went bankrupt. And then all of a sudden it went on like preview for console. They had a little bit of budget left, and they were going to save all of it for the last couple days, pre-launch advertising and all this stuff. Well, it went like unannounced demo kind of, beta on PlayStation and Xbox. The game blew up. They went from 200 concurrent players was their max to 100,000 concurrent players in 2 days. So they way jumped over something Among Us did, and they were right out of the gate. It was constant communication. We're very sorry. We are overwhelmed. We are so excited about this, but at the same time, we are just not prepared. And they were 100% open. Of course, a lot of people were haters saying, get your act together. But I mean, 4 guys, all of a sudden their game is blown up. They don't, they're not Microsoft or Sony or Riot or Activision. They don't have just massive server rooms. So one thing, and it's been all the way through now, the game is getting more stable. They have bigger servers. They've got, investors. They've got a bigger development team. They've grown, I think, up to 10 to 12 people now. So, but this whole 2-week journey that they've been going on for the last 2 weeks, every day they post something on TikTok. They're on their Discord. Just everything is super transparent, right? And it's something we don't see. A lot of us play in our group. There's, whether it's Valorant, Apex, Warzone especially, you get your updates. You get stuff occasionally. They'll respond to things on Twitter, or they literally just make Twitter posts and don't acknowledge things that are happening in the game. So my question to you ladies is, you play 2 separate games. Is that something you wish you saw more from Riot or EA and Respawn on just being transparent and just explaining, okay, this gun is acting this way and this is why, and we're trying to work on it, versus just acting like the problem doesn't exist? Jordan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, no, I love that. When you had brought this topic up, it actually reminded me a lot of, and I know you guys are going to make fun of me, but it reminded me of The Sims, okay? So The Sims has a lot of issues. The Sims 4, don't laugh at me! The Sims 4 has a lot of issues right now, and, the developers are never open and honest about anything. But then there's another game, if you guys know, Paralives, that has been getting a lot of hype. It's still not released yet, but a lot of people are supporting them on Patreon, and literally, I want to say for a while they were a 2-man team, and now I think they're up to 6. Every day they were sending out updates. They were talking about how they were having an issue with one of the Sims sitting down, and they literally put a video together of what issue they were having and why it is that they need help fixing that, and why it is that it's going to be delayed. And they were so open and honest about every tiny thing that it actually forced EA, the Sims team, to start being more honest about why the game is broken, why it's taking so long, and all these other things, which still is an excuse because that game has been out for 6 years for it to be so broken. But it shows that because a competitor took the initiative and they could see the feedback from the audience, who more people joined their Patreon because they were so open about it, and more people are even more excited for Paralives than they are for Sims, and they're getting kind of sick of the lack of explanation and things just being broken. They don't know when it's going to be fixed and things like that. So I think that it's kind of BS whenever a developer says, or they just ignore the problem or say that they can't explain it or it can't be fixed right away, because it can, but you probably have other priorities, and that's fine that you have other priorities, but then explain those priorities so your people don't get like sick of the game or sick of waiting for you. You know, customer service to its finest. That's how I feel about it.
I agree. And Kia?
100% agree with Jordan. I feel like a lot of the bigger companies kind of like, I don't know, they release a game, they realize there's bugs, people they get feedback, but then they're just like, oh yeah, we know it's broken, but we're not gonna we're not gonna deal with it. Like we're gonna deal with it later. Like we'll deal with it, but then they won't give you a date on when they'll deal with it, and they won't tell you how they're gonna deal with it, and then they end up not dealing with it. So they basically just lie to you. I feel like the bigger people could take a note from the people from Splitgate that are actually being more transparent with their things. Like, yes, we know we're trying to, we're working on this and stuff, like what's so hard about maybe even like just having a dedicated team for that, like, okay, we have a dedicated team that's going to fix this problem, expect it to be released, released fix at this time, So.
No, I know in chat we got a couple
like
people. Savager said it would help people to not ride companies about what is happening when they keep quiet, and I understand if I'm reading your comment correctly, I understand where you're coming from. Like when they quiet, people are just haters, right? They're just nonstop. But I'm back with Jordan, right? I agree that it's okay even if you don't know how to fix the problem. If you just say we are just come out, today we're working on it. We're not really sure what's going on. Anything. Like, I think just to say something, even if the something is you don't know, I think what a lot of people are starting to realize, and hopefully some of these companies will realize, is even if you don't give us the answer you want, right, Jordan, is any answer at all, I think the communities grow stronger, they grow bigger. I mean, look at the Splitgate community is growing and people want to play. The fact that, let's be honest, the fact in a world where TikTok and shorts on YouTube reign because people have an attention span of a toddler all the way up as grown-ups, and people were waiting 2.5 hours to 3 hours to play this game, 100,000 people in the game and 200,000+ people waiting to get in. That's absurd. So you're not going to do that if you don't really want to play the game and you're not into it. And while people are waiting, they're watching them just be super open. Savander, let me see. He may respond. As much as it can require more money and manpower, interaction helps facilitates a friendly fan base and understanding. Yeah, I agree. And even if it doesn't directly correlate to better returns, it will build good rep, not just for the current game, but for your company's future titles too. 100%. Exactly. Absolutely. I think if you're just open with the community, and like I said, for a big game, I know the three of us don't play, but a lot of my friends play it. It's Warframe. They're just constantly having just some sort of Twitch stream or something to talk about it, and their community is involved. And I even hear them say like, oh, this thing sucks in the game, or this, that, or the other. But at least they acknowledge it. And for some, like, I play Warzone. I don't know how it is on Apex or Valorant. I don't play enough.
Heart not pumping.
But it's super frustrating to have known issues in Warzone, or especially right now. The hacker problem is literally forcing some of the biggest streamers that we know to stop playing it. They're partnered with Warzone, and the fact that Raven and Activision won't even acknowledge that they have a hacking problem, they act like it's not a problem and they're just quiet, is just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand. To the point now I'm seeing YouTube videos when Raven puts out an update. They recently had an update where a new gun was supposed to come out, and it wasn't dropping for regular players. The main hacking company, like owning whatever they are, actually responded to their tweet saying, oh, that's funny, with our hack, you can still get the gun. Like, the hacking companies are so ballsy now that they don't care because they know they're not going to get called. They know they're not going to get in trouble. So they're just literally openly saying, and it's just not fun. So that's why I left the game. Every game, yeah, I'm an average player. And as an average player, for me to run into a hacker every game is absurd. Once a night, it was fine. Twice a night, it was fine. But every game, to where you're like, I hope we get at least the top 5, that feels like a win. That's not, like, I want to, and what's funny, what I've noticed is as these streamers leave to go play Apex, guess who's starting to come with them? The hacker community, because they want to be seen, and the only way they can get seen are on these big streaming channels. And I know that Apex had some before, but you're already seeing it start to to pick up more, right? And
I
it
know that
sucks.
they're working on making it better though, right? Because I know it was bad for a little while, but I've heard it's gotten better. I haven't touched Apex in a little while, but
Yeah. But
I've
what
heard that they're working on it better than like Warzone did and stuff.
we do have a couple other things. I want to say a couple other things in here. Jay, who I know is jumping in the chat because he was coaching football. We got John Meserve says on Facebook, I'm disappointed that you're not there. Not enough people to make fun of James, so I think he's disappointed Jay's not here. But Jordan started off the night by ripping on me, so I think you're covered.
Our usual.
Savager's still coming a little bit on. It only works for so long. People's standards will expect better. Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, 'cause of course Jay was negative and said that no one really cares about reputation, which I can understand that slightly. But I also think, like I said, like they really took, and I know that Sims is only a small part of EA, but it shows that people stopped buying, like, Sims has expansion packs that are so expensive. People stopped buying those because they realized that Paralyzed was coming out and Paralyzed was being more transparent, and your game has been out for 6 years and you're releasing stuff when it's broken, so we're no longer buying that. And the entire community, like, I'm not kidding, I mean, it's a big deal. Like, the entire community went up, like, we are not buying another single thing until we know what's going on. And for the past couple months, all of a sudden, EA team started switching it up, because if you do affect their wallet, which I think the only way to do that is to get these big streamers, these big influencers to talk about the issue and to say, hey, like, we should no longer support this team until they're more transparent with us. And I think I think that's starting to happen more often. I think people care a lot more about a company's reputation and how they take care of their customers, so.
And Kia, what do you think?
I think customer service is a huge thing. I know for me personally, I worked in customer service for 11 years. And I can tell you that the maddest customer could walk in and they wouldn't be getting their way, but I could sit there and talk them down, and that goes a long way. Being able to talk to a customer and relate to them in any way, like, customer service to me is a huge deal. Like, if I call somebody, if I need support or I need customer service or anything like that, my biggest thing, like, the way I come back to a company or anything is how I'm treated as a customer. If I'm treated poorly, then I'm gone. I'm not coming back, because you just showed me that I don't matter and I don't care. I'm just a number to you. And that to me is not okay. So customer service to me is a huge thing. So like customer service is huge, and you will lose so many customers if you don't work with them. Like,
especially now you're seeing
gonna happen.
Gaming companies like doing better. You're seeing someone who's developing something doing better.
Yes.
Like, once that becomes the norm, then companies are no longer going to have excuses of, oh, we can't tell you, or ignoring. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I bring it up, is because once another company sets the precedent, sets the norm, goes above and beyond the expectations of what was previously accepted, companies are going to have to change to conform, or they're just going to have to do better. You're going to have to fix your game instead of ignoring us.
Exactly.
You're going to have to explain why you're not fixing your game. It's so sad that you have to say that, but.
And we've got Brett Holly on Facebook. He says, flush them out. Expose the hackers. Don't buy until issues are resolved. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, and I'm hopeful. Like, my favorite game is an FPS shooter for I don't know how long. It has been Warzone, and I hope that with some of these, is Activision going to care that me, someone that streams that averages 3 people watching me live, if I stop on my own, I'm not playing Warzone anymore? Do you think they really care? No, they don't care. But if, Nick Mertz and Tim the Tap Man and these guys stop streaming it and actively are angry about it, and they start losing viewership, and it starts going down, and you've got Halo about to launch, the new Battlefield is about to launch, Apex is starting to have better content, Valorant picked up, then you've got Splitgate, there's just so much more competition heading toward them, and I don't think the whole community is all going to turn to one game. They're splitting in multiple games, right? And you're entering the holiday season of just game after game after game after game dropping. You're going to start losing this casual base instead of building up to your own Call of Duty game. Not to mention the Call of Duty game that's about to drop this fall is another World War II game, which basically their community has said, we don't want that. but they're going to do it anyways. So who knows what that's going to do to their game. And I hope it, and don't get me wrong, I hope it succeeds. And I also understand that for the people that develop the game from Raven and that work on the stuff and can't control whether someone hacks, that maybe that's not their expertise, that sucks. Imagine your like life's work, because the game without the hackers, the game is incredible. The layouts of the maps, the graphics of it, everything, the smoothness, the gunplay, everything runs great. Imagine putting all of your life's work into something and it's just ruined by people that just want to ruin it to ruin things. I mean, I don't understand how it's fun to play a game. I play on PC, but I play with the controller. Like, if I had some of the hacks they have, I literally just have to hold down the right trigger, and my gun is just shooting in circles and shooting everyone out of the air that I can't even see. That doesn't seem fun. That doesn't even seem fun to me. You're just doing it to ruin other people's fun. The game is playing for you, and you're not doing anything. You're just pressing buttons. You didn't aim, you didn't run, you didn't do anything. So I don't understand what they're going to do. Now, some, Jordan and Kia, something that I hear a lot about, and I see it on Twitter, is I follow Splitgate, and people defending Splitgate and how great the developers are. A lot of people that are defending the EAs and the Activisions are like, well, this is a small studio, so it's easy for them to be transparent. Or they have to be transparent, or they won't have a fan base. Do you think it's because these big studios, they are larger, they do have a bigger following, that it's not possible? Do you think it's something that's not possible for them, or do you think they just don't want to do it?
I think they just don't want to do it. Personally, that's just how I feel. As a bigger company, you should want to be more transparent with your people and have, like I said, you could have just a dedicated team that's literally like, hey, we're having problems with this. We just want to let you know. Like, they could have a dedicated team for that. But they choose not to. They choose to hide and say, well, we're just too big. I call bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't think it's right. And I mean, for a smaller company to show that it's okay, like to be transparent and be like, hey, we're having issues with our servers because we didn't expect it to blow up this big. And they're sitting here being transparent, and they're gaining more people that want to be a part of it because these people are being more transparent about it. So I think that it is possible for the bigger companies to be transparent, and probably easier.
Yeah, and I think we should phrase it that these bigger companies can get away with not being transparent because of the fact that they're big and they have a fan base, and some people, like Jay said, are going to buy and play no matter what, versus a smaller company, they have to... they're fighting to become a company, like they're still in the midst. Yeah. And I hope that, they continue to be with whatever games they continue to develop and stuff. I hope they continue to be this way. Like I said, set the precedent for the bigger companies. But unfortunately, because you already have a dedicated fan base, you don't feel like you need to take care of that fan base. And that's why you just think things unresolved.
I will stand up a little bit for the developers like Respawn and Raven. A lot of times... we do have to be understanding that it might not be them that doesn't want to be transparent. Maybe
I'm not talking about the devs, a person in general. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying
but
that person.
Maybe they want to, but when you're under this big umbrella, like you said, they're a smaller company, so they've got to build that fan base. They don't have this umbrella corp over top of them, raining down on them. I mean, how many people at EA or Activision or Riot or whatever are... they couldn't play a video game to save their lives, but they're the money, right? So if they tell them you're not responding, what are they supposed to do? Like,
I'm not talking. I'm not trying to talk badly about the devs. The company in general. And
that's why these companies always constantly get a bad rap. For years EA is the evil entity, but man, Activision is doing their best to replace, of course, what they've got going on personally, which I don't really want to get into on this episode. We've talked about it in the past, with the lawsuits and all that, but EA is just quietly outside of their sports games, which have horrible microtransactions still, and somehow the sports fans don't get so upset. I don't know why, but they have really made strides to just kind of start slowly fixing their games, and we'll see what kind of state Battlefield comes out and how much fun it is to play, and if it has longevity, and and that's going to be a big step for them. They do a lot for their, the EA Play and the indie development teams out of EA, and they get a lot of good press that way. So it's going to be interesting as you start to see the transition of power. And I also know Scavenger jumped back in the chat again, said he was a big Bethesda fan. Now he's waiting for the day that they're humbled. Scavenger, I do have big hopes, especially with Starfield, and I think you mentioned how you haven't bought a AAA game since Cyberpunk. I mean, I literally have Cyberpunk sitting in my to playlist waiting for the next gen update because I don't want to play it until it's updated for Series X, which I have, and it sucks. And I think Cyberpunk, unfortunately, was kind of the final game that was released broken, that kind of broke the overall gaming community's back. They're not the only ones that have been doing it. I think it was just everyone just got to the point they couldn't take it anymore, and they took the brunt. They took everybody's anger from a Bethesda game, an EA game, an Activision game, any game that had ever been released broken. Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red took all of that anger on them. They didn't do anything different than the last 20, the last 5 Elder Scrolls games that come out, or the last Fallout games that come out, that are just broken nonstop. It used to be, it's kind of funny because my this rusty car in Fallout went flying across the universe, and then it crashed my game, and I loaded it back up and lost 2.5 hours of my playtime. But it's not funny anymore. People have lives, and as we get older and we have families and kids, I think it's tough. So saying that, I kind of want to leave this, but I do want to transition because I know I've got a 15-month-old. He's almost 15 months. But you, Kia, have a 5-year-old. This is the whole concept of this is Parents First Gaming. So can you just kind of talk a little bit about how you're able to game? Do you let your son game? What games do you let him play? Does your husband also game? Are you a gaming family? How do you balance life? Give us a little rundown on what life is like for you guys.
Okay, so we are definitely a gaming family. My husband games, I game, and my son games. And he probably plays games that, maybe a 5-year-old shouldn't play, because he does play Splitgate. He has played Splitgate. I think he was getting, he was averaging 5, 6, 10, 10 kills a game, and it was crazy because he's 5.
And I even got 20 kills.
Yes, baby. Okay.
He's correcting you. It sounds like.
He's correcting me. Yes. He has played Apex. That is a game that he is not allowed to play without me. And I refuse to play with randoms when I am with him because I don't need a random yelling at my 5-year-old for being a 5-year-old. And maybe people are like, well, a 5-year-old shouldn't play that game. And I'm like, have you seen the reflexes of this 5-year-old? It's crazy. But he gets it naturally. I can't say anything. My dad was a gamer. I got it, he has a picture of me sitting on his shoulders while he's playing the Commodore 64. And so it's part of our family. We all love to game. One thing, as a gaming parent, I understand when my son is playing a game that is online, because he plays Titanfall 2. Yes, that is still a thing. He plays Titanfall 2, and he is really good at it. And I also know it's an online game. So sometimes he starts getting aggravated, and I tell him, okay, that's the last match. And he's like, okay, I'll get off of it right now. I said, no, you can't leave your team. That's not okay. You can't just quit in the middle of a match. So that's one thing I'm trying to get him to understand, that you don't just quit on your teammates, even if you're getting mad at them. So he will wait till the end of the match, and I'll tell him, okay, that's your last match. You need to back out, and he will. But I am very strict on if you get frustrated, you have to take a break, because I refuse to buy a controller because you decided to get mad and throw it.
Yeah. No.
I do not understand anybody who can break a controller, because that was one thing my dad was very if you're getting that frustrated over a game that's something that's supposed to be enjoyed, you need to take a break.
I only break my controllers when I'm playing with Riot or US Logger.
You're playing with Riot.
No, but I am curious. You said you decide to let them play. Do you and your husband kind of discuss on what you like before you let him play something? Do you discuss what you think he should be able to play? What are your reservations, or why? You know, you have some people that don't let their kids play shooter games. They're afraid they're gonna, turn into wanting to bring guns to school, the whole 9 yards. Do you worry about those kind of things, or do you think that they can just separate this as a game, this isn't life type?
I don't with him because for a 5-year-old, he's fairly like aware of things, and he knows that what he does in game is a game. It's not real life, so he can separate the two. So I don't really worry about it too much. I mean, I know that there are parents out there that do worry about that. And I think that's kind of one of those things that each parent needs to take into what their child can discern and decipher what's real and what's not, because every child's different. And I think it helps with him because he has two parents that understand gaming. He also has a grandparent that understands gaming. I still game with my dad. He's actually the whole reason I even bought I was able to get I got into PlayStation 4 again, because beforehand, me and my husband were just on the Xbox. I was always a PlayStation person or a PC person growing up, because that's what my dad always had. But my husband, on the other hand, was more of an Xbox person. So we only had an Xbox. But for my birthday, he bought me a PlayStation 4 a few years ago. And he bought it so I could play with my dad online. So me and my dad still play on occasion, and it's a lot of fun.
Now,
and
what
he's
games
played
do you guys
with,
play?
We did play Destiny 2 for Destiny and Destiny 2 for a long time, until recently. I've kind of broken away from Destiny 2. It hasn't been holding my interest anymore, so I've actually taken a pretty long break so far from it, and I've kind of gotten more into. I've been playing a lot of Apex, and recently on stream I got into playing Horizon Zero Dawn. It was the first time I really ever got a chance to play it. I had downloaded it when it was free in the PlayStation Store, the full game, and I just never got a chance to play with it because I was always on Destiny. And I'm finding that I thoroughly enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn. And I've also been doing some little throwbacks and playing Spyro, which is Spyro and Final Fantasy are what originally got me into the PlayStation scene. So I've been kind of doing some throwback stuff, and it's funny because my son will come talk to me and he's like, "Yeah, Mom, if you do this with Spyro," and I'm like, "Dude, I know." Dude, I know. You a game.
So now, as far as trying to balance just your family life, do you have set out? Do you only let him have so much screen time? I know this was a topic we had the last couple of weeks on our own with some experts. Do you worry about screen time? Do you balance do you guys, if you and your husband are gaming at the same time? How do you handle all of that?
We do try to balance it. Sometimes it is hard, especially when we're in the middle of doing something or we're trying to do something. That's another thing that's hard to balance is online gaming. As parents, we understand that it's hard to pause a game. And as much as he knows that we can't pause games, sometimes he's like, "Hey, I'm hungry. Can you get me something to eat? And I need it right now." We're like, "Wait, what?" But we get to a point where okay, can you give Mommy just a second? Let me get to a safe spot. And he's like, "Okay." And so I'll go and I'm like, "All right, I'm in a safe spot. Let's hurry up and go get something to eat, But we do try to work it. I also homeschool him. So we have to balance schooling. And recently, because we're having an issue with him not wanting to learn how to read, he has the basics, but he's just refusing to apply them. So he has now been grounded from video games. 100% completely taken away. He can't play them because I'm like, "Dude, you need to learn how to read. You don't understand. It's very important in video games."
Kia,
and some of the games he wants to play.
I think Jordan was still in on. I think you were on this episode, Jordan. We talked about Nintendo games and Zelda in particular. A lot of these games are only text. There is no talking Link doesn't have a voice, right? So it's reading.
Yeah.
Have you thought about kind of letting him play? Yes, it's a video game, but if he plays games like that and he wants to understand them, the only way he's going to understand them is if he's reading them.
To be reading them. That's a good point. I might have to look into that. Because we figured if we took the video games away, it would really motivate him to go, okay, I need to learn how to read. Because a lot of the games he wants to play, he's like, well, what is this? We're like, well, you need to learn how to read. If you knew how to read, you would know what this is, Like, he likes to play Minecraft. Loves to play Minecraft. He loves it. And we'll play with him. But he wants to know what certain things are. He's like, well, what does this say? Well, let's sound it out, But he gets frustrated and he's like, I don't know anymore. And I'm like, it's like teaching my sister all over again. My sister was like that. She'd get frustrated and then she'd just be like, I don't know. Yeah, it was like talking to a brick wall. So, yeah.
Yeah, Savager said in the chat. He said they said. Teaching a healthy balance of time isn't bad. In between game, you can take a break, maybe do some dishes. Been doing that myself when waiting in between Escape from Tarkov raids. Escape from Tarkov is the only game I wish I knew how to play mouse and keyboard instead of labored.
So and Valorant, right?
Yeah, Valorant.
Yeah. So the most
Sims too.
I find it funny that you say that. Take a break from because usually the beginning of my week, the first things I do in the morning are dishes and laundry and homeschool and so the only time I really play video games is actually at night. I don't tend to play them during the day unless I'm just having one of those days where it's like I have nothing to do or I just really need a day where I need a day to myself and just chill. So I actually am doing a lot of things during the day versus a lot of people are like, stay-at-home moms, don't do anything. It's a lie. We do a lot of things. And especially now that my son is more school-aged, I'm now homeschooling. So there's even more involved with that. My husband works for us. He goes to work Monday through Friday, and I have to make sure his uniforms are clean. And so it's a balance, but I definitely don't play video games all day as much as I would love to. I don't.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're all that same way. We have to find the balance through not just life but work and whatever else we need to do. But with that being said, I kind of want to segue this to community, right? I think we've built. I'm a part of a community you've helped build and Jordan's helped build, and I've met you guys through the streaming and gaming and all this, and we've built, in what in my opinion is kind of the start of a pretty great community. For those that don't know, we use Discord, and on Discord we've talked about your kids using Discord for chat and stuff, but you can also make communities in Discord, and they're called servers. Now, Kia, you started a server that Jordan and I are both in. It's called The Baker's Dozen. Can you give us a little breakdown on what it is and why you started it and what your goal is behind it?
Well, I recently actually changed it to The Bakery because Baker's Dozen kind of sounded like there's only a certain amount of people allowed and all this, or that there's an insider group and there's really not. My goal for this is I'm a streamer, and I literally started this as a community, which actually Doc helped me start this, so it wasn't just me. Doc did help me with it. But I wouldn't have met Jordan or James. I wouldn't have met either one of you if it hadn't been for Doc turning me to you guys, and I would not have started streaming had it not been all of you pushing me to do so.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, because I never thought I would have ever started streaming, let alone hit affiliate. So I thank all of you for that. But the point of the community is to just be a community that is there for each other and supports each other and wants to see other people hit their goals and reach those goals, which is great because we've managed to get a lot of people recently to affiliate. And I'm really happy about that. We have 2 more that are extremely close to hitting affiliate. So the only problem is now we're all hitting affiliate, and we're all streaming, and we're all trying to be there for each other, and we keep like sometimes we like run into each other's well, I'm streaming tonight too, and I'll try to be there, and I'll try to and I think someone had said something. I was like, look, I need to take a mental break. I have like 6 streams going on right now on my thing. Like I got 6 of them pulled up. Like I got to take a break. Like I'm sorry, guys.
And that's something I definitely want to hear from Jordan on. Jordan, you've in the past when you were younger tried the YouTube channels. You've gone Twitch recently. You've gotten a lot more followers and a little bit bigger, consistent following on Twitch than you had even when I knew you 3 months ago. It keeps growing. And one of the negative things, first of all, anyone from our bakery that's on here, I love what we have. This is not a knock, so please don't take anything I'm about to say, but I want to point out some of the negatives in a community like we're growing. Leah did touch on it that, okay, we're all getting affiliate and we're all helping each other. But for me, there is days I genuinely feel bad. I can't drop in. Then at night, I'm going to stream, and I feel bad when I can't drop into Jordan sometimes, but I work all day. I have a kid. And then my only free time that night is the time I set aside for myself to stream. And if Jordan how do you avoid where you're only following is the people in the community who are also streaming? How do you break that cycle? What are some tips you think, or do you think that it puts you in a rut and it's a complete bad thing, or is that a great way to start?
I feel bad because I don't participate. I'm so sorry. Obviously, you guys know I've been going through a lot where I can't even really focus on my own stuff, let alone anything else. But for me, when I first started out, I did do a couple things where I really wanted to find streamer friends. I didn't really have too many friends in real life, and I didn't really have any online friends yet either. Like, I was just kind of playing games with, like, one of my best friends that I knew from high school, and that was it. So I started reaching out on Twitter and posting on TikTok and stuff that I wanted to find friends. And Doc was one of my first friends, same with Jason. And then I found like Kat and stuff, and we would all kind of hype each other up. Like I helped Doc set up his stream. We spent hours, I'm not kidding, on Discord helping him set up his OBS. It was so funny. Oh no, my camera went out again. Sorry. So you might not be able to see me.
We can still hear you.
That's okay.
Ow! Oh, and my cat just attacked my leg. Fun. Anyway, so, like I found you guys, and I really enjoy watching each one of your streams, and I really love being a part of the community, and that's something that I genuinely like enjoy doing. So it doesn't necessarily feel exhausting, but it did get to a point where I wasn't even following people just to follow me back, but I was there because sometimes you need someone there. Sometimes you've been streaming for hours, and maybe you have like your mom or your dad or your brother or someone that stops by, but you don't have a person that's constantly interacting. And I really think that's one of the reasons that I grew, is because I have so many friends who are constantly interacting. So when someone new comes in, they feel comfortable to talk. Like, they don't feel awkward. I feel like having someone in chat really helps. And I've seen that through the people that I like, my personal friends. If I'm in there talking, someone else will come in, versus if no one's there, they will just kind of filter in and out. But like I said, that takes a lot of like responsibility. So I had to take a step back, and I was like, there are certain people that I feel closer to, that I play games with all the time, that I feel like are genuinely my friends, and I need to focus on not just my life, but just them. And I need to give back to them just like they're giving to me, and I need to keep my circle small, unfortunately, because if not, I'm just going to feel burnt out, and then I'm not going to be able to be around anybody, and that's not what I want. Like, I love Kia, I love Strax, I love you, James. Like, you guys are some people that I will always hold near and dear to my heart, because you guys were my closest and like fastest friends that I've ever had.
And Jordan, speaking on burning out, I know that, like you said, they've really pushed really hard to get a lot of people affiliate. What would be your advice? I even went through this myself. I worked really hard. You remember when I was trying to get affiliate myself? I was busting my butt. I was on TikTok, and then you get there, and it's kind of like this monkey off your back, and then all of a sudden, okay, well, now what do I do? And
right.
If you watch any YouTube video from top streamers, they constantly talk about the burnout. So anyone that's in the bakery that's trying to get affiliate, what's your advice to them on how to not get burnout? What are some things that you went through that burned you out so quick, so maybe they won't make some of the same mistakes?
like I said, it's really overextending yourself, and that's the thing is like I love what your community is doing, but I also feel like it could add like some pressure to especially the newer people who probably do have full-time jobs and they're trying to support their friends and they feel like they've made these connections and they feel like, oh man, I really want to stream, but I don't want to stream on the day that this person's doing it, but that's the only time that I have and things like that. So really, I think like if you ever are feeling burnt out, take a day, an hour, whatever you need for yourself. Sit down with like a little calendar or something. Right, and really just sit there and be like, what are my goals? What do I want to hit? Make it realistic. Because, like, I have so many people being like, oh my God, you're going to blow up or whatever. My goal is by the end of the year to have 1,400 followers. I'm not looking to blow up. I am looking for something realistic. So when I get there and I attain it, I feel satisfied and I'm not sad or blaming myself for not doing better or anything like that. Like, really set realistic goals. Remember that you're doing this to have fun. Remembering that you can meet so many amazing, wonderful, beautiful people doing this. And then also remember that you're just doing it for enjoyment. So like I said, whenever like I had met so many other friends other than our group, I had met so many wonderful people. But I really had to take time for myself and realize like I care about these people like on a personal level and I want to keep them in my life and I want to see them thrive and I want to support them. And so unfortunately everyone else kind of had to fall to the wayside and I have to make sure I stay in contact with these people that I really care about, you know? So like I said, like at the end of the day, just know that no one's going to hate you for prioritizing yourself as long as you're just open and honest with them and just say that you need to take a break or a step back or anything like that. They're going to admire you more for that than, you know, be like, oh my God, why weren't you in my stream? Or, you know, like, why aren't you streaming right now? You know, just take that time. You're a person and this can be considered a job, even if you're not doing it full time, even if you're not making money from it. It's hours that you're sitting in front of a camera. You're not just playing video games. You are presenting yourself to the world. You are entertaining. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And
you're
if
providing
you need
a service, as Jay would say.
Yeah.
right, you are. You are providing yourself as a service, and that can be exhausting being not just yourself, but your extrovert self. Because that's what we are.
Yeah. And my from what I've seen so far, knowing Kia and seeing some of the communication and being lucky enough to be here from the beginning to maybe have some private conversations with Kia and Doc and Jordan, I have seen anyone thinking about joining the server from what I've seen so far is if you can't jump into someone's stream or you can't talk on the Discord every day and maybe you disappear for a week. So far, no one is going to be on your back. And from what I've seen, anyone that starts to act like that, Kia and Doc are not interested in having them be a part of our community. And I think for anyone else trying to build a community like that, as I see Savager in here saying, the best would possibly be communication when time allows between other streams and communities. They had a group of friends who all wanted to be streamers. The number went above 8 to 10 people, all trying to stream, and toes will be stomped on, sometimes even in spite. And that definitely happens. The pressure builds, as Savager's saying. People, like Jordan says, it is another job if you decide you want to go this route. Whether it's 1 hour a week, 1 hour a month, or 50 hours a week extra on what you're trying to do. And it is true, maybe someone that isn't able to have a consistent schedule. I wish that I could, but I have a son, things come up. I work sometimes in the evening. I wish I had a more consistent schedule, but it is, maybe I can only stream 3 days this week, and those are the same 3 nights that Kia is going to stream. And it stinks. And that's where I think you start to run into the problem of, if we're all helping each other, and then we're all streaming, where does your viewership come from and how do you continue to grow? Yeah. So as far as trying to grow, Kia or Jordan, do you guys have plans on how to grow beyond the community we're building?
Me personally, I know one thing that Doc has also done is just searching for new people to go, maybe go find people that are other streamers and go out there, put yourself out there, like find a community with them as well, because I've noticed that I have viewers that are not in common with you or Jordan or Doc. Like you have to network yourself. Like you have to. Because we can't always be there for each other like we want to be. Even though we want to be there, like a lot of times we can't because maybe our stream schedules collide. Or something comes up and you can't be there because of a family emergency or whatever. Like, You have to get out there. You have to network yourself. I know me personally, I'm terrified of TikTok. Jordan makes TikToks. I follow her. But there's other ways besides also going through Twitch and searching other streamers that you can connect with. Like recently, I connected with Plant Daddy-O thanks to Doc. And I was just in his stream chatting with him, and he ended up making me some bomb-ass panels that I absolutely love. Just because.
You know, it's funny. I found him on Twitter. Twitter's a great resource, you guys. Twitter's
another place you can go. Facebook, if you have it. Like, there's ways to just network yourself. And that's important because as much as our community, like, the more our community grows, the harder it is to going to be there for other people. But we also want you to understand that your mental health is also very important to us. So if you have to take a mental break, take it. Don't, if you're getting negative to the point where like you're not enjoying your stream or you're getting upset because you keep looking at that viewer count, you keep trying to see how many viewers you have, stop it.
Turn it off.
Look at that number.
Yeah, a lot of people recommend that you just turn it off.
Number.
And actually, sometimes it's not even accurate because it fluctuates. It fluctuates a lot. Sometimes I'll have like only 7 viewers, and when I go to rate someone, it'll be like rating with 14, or the exact opposite. I'll have like 15 viewers, and it'll be like rating with 6, and it's like, oh. So sometimes that number isn't even accurate.
Very true. The other night it happened to me. I had 0 viewers the entire time. That's what it said to me. I didn't care. Still streamed. I knew there was people chatting with me. I didn't care. But it literally said the entire time I was streaming that I had 0 viewers. My husband, who was a moderator for my stream, was like, babe, you had 16 viewers like the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Really?
Yeah, sometimes it's weird like that.
And sure enough, when I got my Twitch stream summary, I had like averaged like over 12 viewers the entire time. So my biggest thing, like my biggest tip as a stream, like even as a newer person, don't pay attention to those numbers. They'll get there. Like, stop worrying about it. Stop glancing down at that screen. Like, just stop. Just stream like you would if you were streaming to 100 people. Even if it's only one person. Just have fun with it. And if you're not, you need to take a break.
Yeah,
agreed.
I also think with growing, networking is good, but it's also about putting yourself out there. Like Kia said, I have a TikTok. It's a lot of cringe, so don't follow it. But
follow it, you'll love it.
But if you have someone dedicated to be a mod, ask them to clip the funny parts. Or even if you don't, maybe set aside a day that you stream to just go through that VOD, find the funniest thing, the most personable thing, clip that up, cut it up. You don't have to be professional. You can literally Google how to do it on YouTube and put that on TikTok. Who cares if it's one extra follower that you get? That's one extra person that saw something that they liked and it brought them to you. Like, I found some of my greatest friends through TikTok. I found Jason. I think I found Strax through TikTok. Like, some of the greatest people in my life I have found through TikTok, and it was when they were the only person that was paying attention to me. You know what I mean? Like, before I started to grow on TikTok, that's exactly how you do it. And beyond that, I mention, not like in an obnoxious way, but, you know, people ask, oh, what do you do for a living? And right now, it's full-time streaming. Or, what do you do for fun? Oh, I stream on Twitch. I know it can be like embarrassing because you're just starting out and you're nobody and like all these things. Like, that's what I say in my head all the time. I'm like, don't follow my TikTok because I'm embarrassing and like, you know, like I'm small or whatever. But guess what? Savager is here because I met him in person and I told him about my Twitch and we played today. He said, oh yeah, I play Valorant too. And he hopped in my stream and he's here today, you know? And so like, letting people know that you never know who's going to support you. I posted on Facebook about my Twitch stream, and that's how I became affiliate in 7 days. Just by posting to Facebook that, hey guys, like, I'm going to start Twitch and stuff. Like, it was super embarrassing, but I had those like 7 viewers or whatever it is that you needed for all those qualifications. People showed up for me. So don't be embarrassed. Like, you want to do this, and guess what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You had fun. Like, that's been my mindset the entire time, is I'm trying to make this happen. If it doesn't work out, that's life, and I'm gonna, you know, work my hardest at it, but I'm also just gonna have fun. And worst case, I had a couple really great months and then I decided it wasn't for me, etc. But don't beat yourself up for it, and don't let yourself get embarrassed. Like, really put yourself out there and let people know, what you're doing and when you're doing it, so they can support you if they want to support you. You'll be surprised at how like giving people can be, or how much they want to be there for you.
Yeah, I have a video that someone said they were going to clip not that long ago. They didn't, apparently. And they were talking about putting it on TikTok because it was my stream where I bawled my eyes out on stream. Because I had so many people that popped in and started subbing to me. I'm going to start crying just thinking about it. They gifted me so many subs that it literally brought me to tears because it wasn't something I expected. And it was only like, I don't remember. It wasn't something that, it wasn't like, it was pretty close after I hit affiliate. And it literally just brought me to tears that there was people out there that they cared that much about me, that they would gift me subs. Like, who am I? I'm a nobody. Like, I do the same thing, Jordan. I tell I'm a nobody. Like, I'm just a person trying to have fun. Yeah. And it was Doc who said he was going to do it. He was like, I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna go back and clip where you were crying, and I'm gonna post it on TikTok.
I mean, you hear it all the time. Like, even some of the top streamers will, people will ask them for advice. If you are not having fun playing the game that you're playing, or angry in a fun competitive way, can be another thing. But if you're not having an emotion that you care about the game, that you're having fun playing the game, that you like what you're doing, your community is going to notice that, and people even stopping by that aren't friends with you, or maybe if they've never watched your stream before, if you don't look like you enjoy what you're doing, or you feel like you are only playing it because you have to, people aren't going to stick around. They're gonna feed on that pretty easy.
And the thing is, you don't even have to just game. Like, you can really do anything that you enjoy. Like, people literally scroll through memes all day and they make commentary about it, and people will sit there and watch it for hours. That's not content that I personally would consume, but there are people out there who would love that. So if you have a funny personality, or even if you are a little shy, like, there are comfort streamers. Like, it's all about finding your niche and being able to attract people. And I know that's such a scary word. Like, when I first started, I don't even really know my niche. My niche is kind of chaotic right now, but I can usually help identify other people's niches. And it's really just about finding like your community, your people, and people who understand you and relate to you, and you guys can genuinely like be friends when you're in front of the camera and you feel like you're talking to them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So like I said, even if you're shy and you want to do this, then create content around that. Be a comfort streamer, like take any weakness that you have, make that your strength, like any quirky ability or anything. People want to see that. They don't want to see a perfect person, or else they'd follow a celebrity. They want to see real people.
I have random hiccups. Yeah, I get random hiccups all the time. People are like, "What was that?"
Well, ladies, I think we're hitting close to our time limit. I don't want to take everybody's night. I know we could talk forever, and Kia, I would love to have you back on. But before we go, I do want to remind people that this podcast, Parents vs. Gaming, is on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcast. Please, I beg anyone that watches us live, if you could go even just drop a like, maybe write a review, rate us, give us hopefully a 5-star rating. I pray anyways. I can't stress enough how much that helps. Last Choice Network on YouTube is our YouTube channel that we're still in the transition phase of trying to grow it. Once I kind of get my work schedule a little bit better under control, we're going to have a lot of content that Jordan and I have talked a lot about. I know that Kia has dropped in a little bit. I've given her some hints on what I want to do. Some of the things I want to do I think could greatly benefit the people that are in the bakery Discord server as well. So hopefully you guys will be able to benefit from that as we grow content. So any kind of subscribe, just so those that know, anyone trying to hit affiliate on Twitch, to reach the monetization levels on YouTube, it's very different. You need 4,000 watched hours of content and 1,000 subscribers. It's like a follower. So what's it? 50 followers on Twitch and 3 concurrent viewers. On YouTube, you just need 1,000 subscribers, which is like a follow. For those that don't understand YouTube, it's not a paid. Subscribing on YouTube is free. But we would love to have the help. All of this goes from the podcast to the Last Choice Network. All of it helps to grow this bigger. Jordan talked about how you can network and meet people. I also met Jordan through TikTok.
Yes.
And then now we're here hosting a
Sorry, I
podcast
forgot about you.
Together. Some people that followed tonight, Hot Dog Gladiator on the Twitch channel, Botiana Baby. Thank you guys so much. I know Mystic Pistachio followed a little bit earlier. Some people dropped some subs earlier tonight. We are going to continue this stream. We're going to transition out of this, and I'm going to jump back into Splitgate later. But before we do that, I want to say goodbye to the two ladies here. Feel free to jump on if I don't know if Jordan's going back to streaming or Kia's streaming. Feel free to support them as well. But Kia, where can people find you? How could they? What if someone's new and they're interested in joining this bakery? How do they go about finding you and all that?
So you can find me on Twitch. It is my first name and my son's name 0801. So it's Kia Kane, but it's Killa. And KANE0801.
I just typed it too.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. You can click on that. You can follow. You can go from there. And my Discord link is in my Twitch, so you can click on there and you can go from there and you can join the bakery. We welcome all types of gamers and streamers. One thing we don't tolerate. James even said it. We don't want negativity. We bring all the love. That's all we want to do. If you're feeling negative, that's fine. Just don't bring it in.
There are some. I will say there are some
negativity.
There are some sections in the Discord that you can be angry at, which is specifically the sports chat section. If you want to throw some shade about 100%. Your favorite sports team, it's all welcome there. The trash talking is welcome.
Yes. Trash talking is welcomed in there. That's fine. But yes, you can follow me there on. You can follow Twitch. That's where you can reach me at. And then you can just follow that link to Discord and join the Discord. But like I said, we welcome everybody. You don't have to be a streamer. You don't have to be a gamer. You can hop in and just show love and support. That's all we want.
And Jordan, where can people continue to find you?
I'm Alexis Jordan 98 on Twitch here. I will be streaming some days, typically after 5 p.m. I will be streaming for sure on my birthday, rain or shine, no matter what happens that day. I will be sitting my butt in this chair and I will be streaming because it's my birthday.
Now you keep saying that. Can we discuss the day of your birthday? What day is your actual birthday that people can come by the birthday stream?
It's the 16th of this month. Yeah, so next Monday. Not this Monday, next one.
So we will hype it up next Sunday night on the podcast as well. We will remind everyone and send out links and
I'll make sure we blow it up in Discord.
Maybe you can let us know exactly what time you're going to start, and as you kind of work out the details on what your ideas. And I'm sure if it's anything like your subathon that you had, I'm sure it's going to be an absolute blast. Jordan likes to interact with her chat. For those that don't know, she'll never brag about herself, but I'm going to brag about her. It was completely interactive. I actually was lucky enough to jump in on my first date with the current person that I am in a very serious relationship with now. And she was just super interactive. I think you took a pie in the face at one point.
Yes, I'm looking to do again for my. I am looking to do that again for my birthday. Yeah. It was really good pie too. I'm not a pie person, but that was amazing. I honestly wanted to eat it off my face, but I didn't think it was appropriate. So you can catch that kind of craziness on my stream. I'm also Alexis Jordan 988 on TikTok in case you want to follow the cringe and the awkwardness. That's up to you. That's no pressure there. Anyways, but yeah, and then I'm here most Sundays. Hopefully every Sunday after this one.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to end this and then pop right back on in a few minutes for those that want to hang around. And hopefully maybe Jordan or Kia will play Splitgate with me.
I don't even know if I can load in.
You can load in. All
right, I loaded in really quick.
Thank you guys so much. Honestly, it means a lot that you guys come out. But like I said, any kind of like or comments on the Spotify or the Apple and the YouTube, it helps us more than you will ever know. And thank you guys so much for coming out. Love everybody. Have a great rest of the night. Bye-bye.